Bro, they underestimated you and it was the worst thing they could have ever did in their life. Bro, since they underestimated you and it was the worst thing they ever did in their life. They counted you out. They called you the underdog. They said you didn't deserve to be where you were. They said you didn't deserve to be with them. They treated you like you didn't deserve to be around them. Your family members that blotted you out. People underestimated you and they expected you to never have your comeback. But your greatest downfall is about to turn around and be your best comeback, your greatest comeback. When people underestimated you, it was the worst decision they could have ever done in their life. You want to know why they underestimated you? Because they expected you to stay where you were. They expected you to stay stuck. They expected you to stay on that ground. They didn't expect you to rise. But people underestimated you, not knowing the potential, not knowing your strength, not knowing that God was backing you, not knowing that you knew that you had it in you, not knowing how much confidence you had in yourself when nobody else seemed to have confidence in you. When they underestimated you, bro, it was the worst thing they could have ever did. But it was the best thing they ever did for you. It was the best thing they could have ever did, sis. It was the best thing. The best thing they could have did was show you their true colors when you needed them. The best thing they could have ever did was show you that they weren't trustworthy. The best thing they could have ever did was write you off. The best thing they could have ever did was compete with you when you felt like you were stuck. The best thing people could have ever did was plot and plan on your downfall. They expected you to fall. They said it was a matter of time. But the crazy thing is, they didn't expect you to rise. They didn't expect you to rise. There were some people you're not compatible with in this life. And you noticed that in your worst moments. You found out people's truest colors. You found out how much people really cared about you, how much people really thought of you, how highly people really thought of you when you fell low. You felt how people really felt. Now I want you to get ready to see people drop their mouth in unbelief at your greatest comeback, at your biggest blessing, because it's about to come in your life. They're about to be shocked. And ultimately, you don't even know how good things are about to get for you. Ultimately, you don't even know. You don't even know how much God is about to bless you, even as you're watching this video. But you feel it. You can just feel something coming, even as I'm speaking the words that you may have, before you clicked on this video, you may have had no hope. You may have not known what to do, but God told me to tell you that your biggest downfall is about to have the best outcome on your life. That you've fallen this low. When you get back up, you ain't gonna never go there again. You know all the pain that comes with being at the bottom. You know all the deceit, the lies. You see all the hate. You all see all the hurt that you experience from people, from family when it comes to being at the bottom. You see what it comes with. And so when you allow yourself to get back up again, when God starts opening doors in your life again, you never, hear me out, you never gonna go there again. It was the best thing they could have ever did for you was underestimate you. Was not see you to your fullest potential. The best thing they could have ever did was turn their backs on you. The best thing they could have ever did for you was betray you. The best thing they ever could have did for you was leave you in your struggle and leave you with your pain. Some people left you with your pain. They left you right in the midst. They left you with your pain. They let you deal with it. They said it's your problem. But when you had a problem, y'all excuse that now. I'm about to fight it. When you had a problem, when they had a problem, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. When they had a problem, it was your problem. It was y'all was in this together. But the moment you had a problem, the moment you had an issue, people left you with that problem to figure it out. And the best thing they could have ever did for you was think so low of you that you didn't have enough in you to get back up. The best thing they could have ever did for you was think that you was making the wrong decisions. Some people laughed at your decision to leave the job, leave school, not graduate, not get the college degree. Some people laughed at your decision to take the path you literally taking right now. They're laughing at you. But they're going to be shocked because you're about to make the greatest comeback you ever made in your life. Some people didn't believe in your dreams. They didn't believe in you. They didn't believe that they're going to be so shocked when the underdog come back on top. When you overcome every situation that has taken you under. When you learn to swim when you were drowning. When you learn to breathe when you couldn't, when you felt breathless, when problems took your breath away, when how people treated you took your breath away. Your haters gonna be so mad when you start to be seen again when they treated you like you were invisible. My bad. My bad. My bad. Oops. My bad. But when you were hurt, when you didn't have nobody, don't you remember? Don't you remember the start of this thing? When you really had to realize, yo, I really gotta go through this alone. I really can't ask this person. Imagine being okay in life and going through life. You may not have the best, the most, but you were okay. You were decent. And having everybody in your corner. Imagine having friends to call when you had money to go out. But the moment you fell, when the moment you hit rock bottom, all of those people started to disperse. Everybody left you when you started to lose in life. Everybody that wanted to be around you when you were making everybody laugh and smile. The moment when you felt so, when those emotions was drained out of you, when the joy was drained out of you, when it wasn't fun to be around you no more, when it wasn't beneficial to be around you no more. When people seen that you were falling at a pace and a level that nobody could make it back from, they start to show their true colors. See, people were walking around showing colors, but it wasn't their true colors when you were on top, when you were winning. When you were in a winning season, when you were doing well in life, when you were doing well off, when you didn't need everybody, when you didn't have to call and ask somebody to borrow $20. They showed their colors. They did. Oh yeah, I know you got a job. You got a good job. You gonna give me back this $20 next week. Yeah, you of course you can have it. But the moment when people seen you hit rock bottom, the moment when people didn't know when they was gonna get their money back, that's when they started to treat you funny. That's when their money got funny. Oh, I'm struggling. That's when they didn't want to call you. It was never about y'all going out clubbing. When you had the money to go club, everybody wanted to sit around you. Everybody wanted to be your friend. The moment you didn't have money to even feed yourself, the same people that you used to celebrate with, the same people you used to buy bottles and pop bottles, the same friends you used to go hang out in the park with if that wasn't your environment, the same people you used to go to the movies with, the same people that used to be at the family reunion, those are people that literally cut off their phones, change their phone numbers on you, change their heart. They used to have fun with you one day. Next minute, when you ain't having fun no more, when you need somebody to make you smile, you used to make everybody smile. When you need somebody to make you laugh, you used to support everybody. When you need a little bit of support yourself, that's when everybody start cutting off their phones. That's when everybody stop. This is when they start showing their true colors to you. That's when they started underestimating you. That's when their true colors started to come out. You sat around these people not even knowing that if you hit rock bottom, you wouldn't even be able to call them, that you would feel humiliated calling them. Imagine being around people your entire life. That the moment you struggle, you feel humiliated to even ask your best friend for help. That was never your friend in the first place. That was never your brother or your sister. That was never your aunt or your uncle. That was never your family in the first place. You feel humiliated to ask them. You seen it coming though. You knew you wouldn't be able to depend on people if you fell. You just was hoping that, I hope that the relationship is strong enough. But the moment you started to do real bad, the moment you fell in your depression, the moment you ain't want to get out of bed no more, sis, that's when he started acting funny. Hey, sir, the moment you didn't have money to support the relationship, that's when none of the girls wanted you. When you was in a relationship, when you had money, when you was doing all of this, that's when you was hot stuff. That's when everybody was jocking you, right? But the moment you really fell rock bottom, you started to notice people for who they are. You started to realize that people, they never was rocking with you in the first place. You started to realize people was always underestimating you. In fact, they were setting a date for your expiration. They were setting a date for you to die. They were setting a date for you to fall. They were setting a date for your failure. In fact, that where you are right now, in your darkest days, people expected to see you there. People aligned their words to meet you in the place you are right now. People looked at you and they said, "Oh, I know their life ain't gonna go good forever. Oh, they think this is smart. Watch them fall off." And they might have said it in secret behind closed doors and closets that nobody heard. But see, God heard the words of your enemies. That's why God is allowing people to show their true colors. That's why when you need people the most, it starts to feel humiliating that you got to call. Anybody that make you feel Even somebody that you got to walk back and forth and you got to cry to yourself about asking for help for, they was never meant to help you in the first place. They should have never been in your life. You know how many times I had to walk in, dang, I really got to ask this person for help. Until God started to show me that he is my help. Until God started to show me all the people I was hanging around calling my friends. How could you call somebody your friend for years and then the moment you really need a friend, you notice a Judas spirit in them. You notice a Judas spirit in them. You see that they literally they'll betray you. So the best thing people could ever did for you, I don't know who needs to know this, but the best thing they could have ever did for you was underestimate you. It humbled you. It did something in you. It created something in you. The best thing people could ever did was call you out, underdog. You are the chosen one. You made it back from a place, and if you're watching this and you haven't made it back yet, you're going to make it back from a place that nobody expected you to come back from. They expected you to stay right where your stuck was. They expected you to stay in your pain. They don't expect you to get up no more. They don't expect you to be somebody. They expect you to be nobody. They can't wait till your name is wiped off of the face of the earth. They're waiting for you to stop trying. They're waiting for you to give them a reason to say, I told you so. But I want you to look a hater in the face and say, I told you no. I'm not who you say I am. They might be saying, I told you, so I told you. I told you they wasn't really the realest. I told you they wasn't really, they didn't really have it in them. I told you they didn't have what it takes to make it to the top. But I want you to look right back at those words and say, I told you no. I told you I was strong. I told you I was stronger than that. I told you I would win again. You gonna make it back from a place that nobody expected you to make it back from. You're going to make it back from a place that nobody expected you to make it back from. You were at your breaking point, boiling point, every point you could ever be at. And you watch your family. If the pain didn't break your heart enough, if the emotions didn't break your heart enough, you watch the closest people to you break your heart more than you ever could imagine, more than you ever could explain. The people that you wanted to just lean on, the people that you wanted to cry on their shoulders, you watch them walk away from you in your worst days, in your darkest hour. But God is about to show up for you. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who needs to hear this, but God is about to make your greatest downfall turn around, your greatest defeat. He's going to turn around and make it your biggest victory, your biggest blessing, your biggest breakthrough, your biggest come up yet. You about to come back greater than you, stronger, smarter, wiser. You about to come back with more resources. You about to come back better than you ever expected. You're not just about to come back. You about to come back like a running back. You about to come back with your running, hit the ground running. You about to come back with a level mind. You about to come back knowing who people were. You about to come back with stripes on your back, with scars, with war wounds. You about to come back you about to come back from a place. Oh, you about to come back right now. You about to come back right now with more wisdom, more intelligence, more preparation. You about to come back with eyes that can see a hater for a hater. You about to come back with a nose that can smell a demon. You about to come back with lips that speak strength. You about to come back with the strongest muscles right now. You about to make your greatest comeback. This season is about to be your biggest season for winning you've ever experienced in your life. I'm not telling you to just keep going. I'm telling you that you went long enough. I'm telling you that when you kept going in the midst of your pain, when you kept going with all your uncertainty, it's about to start paying off right now. I'm not telling you that, you just got to keep going another day. I'm telling you that you can rest right now. You can rest and just watch it happen in the face of your enemies. That's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that you worked hard enough. You planted so many seeds. You've done everything you can do. Now watch your blessings unfold. I'm not even telling you to work harder. But work harder. Don't let this stop you, because you got some expectations to set. You got some limits to break. People done put limits over your life. The sky ain't even your limit. That's the crazy part. God said you belong in heaven. The sky can't even be a limit to you. So I'm telling you, you don't have to work hard. You already done the hard work. I'm telling you. You already got past the hardest parts of your life. All you gotta do is just keep living out life. Keep going. Just keep living out life. And everything, all your hard work is about to unfold. All your hard energy, all those tears that you cry, all those tears, you were watering soil. You were nurturing seeds. You thought your tears were just falling and hitting the ground for no reason. Nah, you were watering seeds. You were nurturing your soil with those tears. And people don't expect you to come back. They expected you to break and fall apart. They expected you to break down. But when you broke down, God was your AAA. When you broke down, God was your AAA. He was your emergency contact. He was your emergency call. When you didn't have nobody to put on an emergency contact, when you was in a hospital, when you felt funny even putting a family member name, God was your greatest support, and He is your best weapon. God does some things for you in secret. He built you in secret. That while everybody thought you were invisible, God was making you invisible. And while everybody thought that predicted your downfall, everybody thought your falling off was predictable. They was waiting. God gave you the biggest, the most unpredicted comeback, blessing, breakthrough, anointing, calling, gift. And it was in the middle, it was in your downfall, when you learned to overcome, is when you truly found out who you really were. You found out who you were through your pain. And by overcoming, you were about to stop the rain. You were about to shut the clouds up, the rain clouds up. They're about to, the sunshine is about to open up. And it was their worst. Because you're about to went to a level where people are going to need you. They're going to need your presence. They're going to need your finances. They're going to need your support. They're going to need to even know your name to get in the building. And the same people that literally, that's why I said it was the worst thing they could have ever did for them was underestimate you, because they're going to need you in the long run. But the best thing, the greatest thing they could have ever, the gift they gave you was the gift of betrayal. It shows your truest strength. Just ask Jesus. The gift of betrayal made him God over the entire earth. He was God before, but it raised him up. It gave him the power over life and death. The gift of betrayal. Some of your enemies don't know how strong they actually made you by betraying you, by giving you a low expectation. They don't know how much they actually strengthen you by wishing on your downfall, by waiting for you to fall off. The best thing they could have ever did was turn their back on you in the midst of your storm. It showed you that you didn't need nobody, that you could do this thing alone, that you could handle life alone. The greatest thing they could have ever did for you was predict your downfall. But the best thing that God ever did for you was predestine you. That he even knew that even if you fall, even if you fail, you're going to come back from this one. And you're going to come back so much stronger. You're about to come back now. Stronger than you've ever been. Smarter than you've ever been. You learn so many things about life in your seasons of lack, in your worst seasons, in your seasons of without love, without family, without friends, without support, without resources. Without all the things that people on earth, people here on earth think they need to survive, you went without it. And so now when these things are added to you, you're going to be even more of a threat. You are so much of a threat now without the money, without the house, without the home, without the family, without the love, without the relationship. You are so much of a threat. But as soon as God give you a marriage, as soon as God give you back somebody that love you, as soon as God give you back 100% health, you are so much of a threat right now, even with the disability you have. But soon as God heals you, soon as God gives you the resources, soon as God gives you the building, soon as God gives you the business, soon as God gives you the money, bro, you gonna be so, the best thing they could have ever did was count on your downfall, bro. While you heard about it. You heard it's like people erase you from their life. Literally. That hurt your heart. That made you numb. That made you cold-hearted. It's like that erased your heart. It hurt more than the problem you was going through. Watching how people handled the problem you was going through. Watching how people showed up for you and didn't really show up for you at all. Showed their true colors. And when I say showed up for you, they didn't no call, no show. That's how they showed up. They wasn't even there. You had to literally figure out your own strength. You had to literally figure that you can do this by yourself. You on earth, that you needed God. You needed a higher power, not just humans. And you came back, and you coming back, and you running back, and you sprinting back, and you fleeing back with more than you left with. I'm telling you. And when you finally learn to love again, when you get to love again, when you get to a place where you can smile again, when you feel at ease again, at rest again, there gonna be so many people. You gonna hear your phone, you gonna just hear it ringing. I forgot how to iPhone. I be turning my phone off so much. I don't even remember how to. You gonna hear your phone ringing so much. People are gonna hit you up so much. People gonna be trying to be in your DMs so much. They're gonna be sliding in the DMs so much that you're not even gonna want to entertain people because you know your worth. And if anything, if this battle has taught you, this downhill battle has taught you anything, it's taught you how to love yourself. It taught you who you are. It taught you how to be there for yourself when nobody else could be, would be, and should be there for you. People was, I won't, and I ain't helping them. These people you helped your whole life. People you sat with, you gave the best advice to. They couldn't even hug you in your worst days. Expect to come back better than you ever left. Your greatest downfall about to be your best comeback. And I don't know who you're to hear this, but you coming back, and you coming back like a ball of fire. You burning up everything. Everything you touch is going to turn into gold. Everything you touch is going to reproduce. It's going to multiply, sis. Everything you touch, everything. I know somebody, when I said sis, you knew that was for you, didn't you? Yeah, I know. I felt it in my spirit that somebody knew, oh yeah, that's me. When I said sis, like, you know, everything you touch, bro. Everything you touch is going to be anointed, highly anointed. People are going to call your phone and pay prices that are out of the roof, that are above expectation, just to hear you, just to see you, just to have you on the stage. I'm telling you, God is about to work wonders in your life. And people, this is what God is telling me to tell you, that people that have watched you fall in real life, they're going to watch your success on TV.